Welcome, geeks, to another interstellar episode of Geekish News, the show that gives you the lowdown on what's happening in entertainment, pop culture, and all things geek. I'm your host, Dan Mack, and have I got news for you? I've got the latest scoop on the John Wick sequel, the latest goss from the Star Wars rumour mill, info on the Robotech adaptation, and gaming news about the upcoming Game of Thrones and Tales from the Borderlands releases. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it. Wick is back with a vengeance. Good news for Keanu Reeves fans, as it was announced that the John Wick sequel is currently in development. Stuntmen turned directors Chad Stahelski and David Leitch are already throwing ideas around for a sequel to Keanu's gritty action flick that put the Matrix trilogy star back on the map. For those geekish viewers who have not seen the original movie, Reeves plays the titular character John Wick, a former hitman who gives up the gun for hire game to retire to the simple life. But it's not that easy for the former assassin, as he accidentally crosses some gangsters. After they track him down, take everything he has, and even kill Wick's beloved dog, he has no recourse but to take up the tools of his former trade and to get revenge. So what's in store for the sequel to this hard-hitting, action-packed, kick-ass, no-holds-bar adrenaline rush? Well, no story ideas have come out yet, but in a statement to Empire magazine, Stahelski claims that without blinking twice, they can outdo the action from the original. Now that's a tall order, and one that Geekish News will sure to be following. Interstellar spin-off. News from the Star Wars rumour mill is that Felicity Jones is in talks for a role in the Gareth Edwards Star Wars spin-off. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Jones, who has recently won acclaim for her performance in The Theory of Everything, the Stephen Hawking biopic, has been in talks to play the female lead, but this is yet to be confirmed by either Lucasfilm or Disney. Also coming out of the Star Wars rumour mill was that Michael Fassbender will be playing the role of Boba Fett. This unconfirmed news blast came from iQuiz, who claim to have received this little tip-off from an inside source. Now, are the fans being taken on a wild goose chase along the Kessel Run? Hopefully more solid information will come to light in the lead up to the Star Wars Rebels Season 2 launch celebrations in April. Warner Bros. Goes Robotech. For fans of the 1980s anime series Robotech, I have some awesome news for you. After what seems like forever and numerous attempts to bring the series to the big screen, Hollywood Gang, in association with Warner Bros., are set to try an adaptation of the anime classic. Along with producers Gianni Nunari, Mark Canton, as well as 300 and G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra screenwriter Michael Gordon, the team is looking for a particular filmmaker to handle the project. Current frontrunner is director Andy Muschietti, who directed the 2013 horror movie Mama. The original series aired in 1985 and was produced by American production company Harmony Gold, combining three separate anime series by Studio Tatsunoko: Macross, Southern Cross, and Mospedia. The series focused on a series of interrelated alien invasions of Earth over several generations. Just like its fellow anime big screen counterpart Akira, Robotech was also responsible for introducing an entire generation and Western culture to the Eastern style of animation and storytelling. No word as of yet for story or casting for the adaptation, but this is one movie all classic anime fans will surely be keeping tabs on. A telltale of two games. And finally, in gaming news, Telltale Games has launched the trailer for the next episode in its Game of Thrones series, Game of Thrones: The Lost Lords. After the bloody opening chapter in the gaming parallel to the HBO TV series and the novels, The Lost Lords continues the story of House Forrester and how its members must deal with their current tragedy in the shadow of the ever-escalating struggle for power in Westeros and the race for the Iron Throne. This second episode will also introduce two new playable characters and take us to some more exotic locations in Essos. Game of Thrones: The Lost Lords is set for release in February, both in-store and online. Also being released this month from Telltale Games is the second episode of Tales from the Borderlands: Atlas Mugged. The story picks up where it left off with Reese, voiced by Troy Baker, and Fiona, voiced by Laura Bailey, as their separate yet equally unsuccessful cons have led them to discover priceless Atlas artifacts and the ghost/hologram of Handsome Jack. Well, that's all we have for you on this edition of Geekish News, but please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can stay in the loop with all things geekish and check out our other videos from the Geekish team. Also make sure you check us out on Facebook, where we love to post all sorts of cool articles, pictures and links. Make sure you click the like button while you're there. This is Dan Mack for Geekish News. We'll catch you next time.